Greetings. Um, it's a privilege to reach out to you again here. Yes, it's another time. It's another English lesson class, and the topic before us today is phrasal verb in English language. It's an essential guide for students. It's an essential guide for students. All right, and of course, this is done by Mr. Adeoye TJ. That's my name. All right, so we move straight to the discussion. Yes. Now, we're talking about mastering phrasal verbs. Mastering phrasal verbs. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about phrasal verbs, uh, um, designs, what is designed for. Of course, what is designed is to enhance your English language. So it will also help you to scale up your skill uh, in English. All right. It's okay if you are in secondary school. It's also very beneficial for you if you can fall back on it, even in the tertiary institution. If you're in tertiary institution, all right. It's very essential that you understand phrasal verbs because it helps you to have versatility. It helps your versatility uh, in the use of linguistic tools like this. All right, let's dive straight to what we have here. So, what exactly are phrasal verbs? What exactly are phrasal verbs? Now, if phrasal verbs are unique combinations, all right. What do we mean by that? Now, a phrasal verb merges a verb with a preposition or an adverb, or sometimes both. All right. So it's just like adding a verb with a preposition or an adverb to produce something distinct. Now, from this combination, new meaning emerges. All right. So crucially, this combination creates an entirely new meaning, often distinct from the original verb. All right. It's distinct from the original verb. Now, let's consider these examples. Now, look at this example. Look plus after. So you have look after. What does it mean? To take care of. It's like I have to look after my siblings. I have to look after my parents. It's to take care of them. All right. Now look at this other example. Give plus hope. Give plus up means give up. So what does this mean? It means to stop trying. So, of course, I'm going to tell you, don't give up trying. All right? Don't give up. It's not time to give up. In fact, you shouldn't even think of giving up. All right. Now let's go to the structure of phrasal verbs. Don't mind the second formula. We're going to be checking them one after the other now. Now, phrasal verbs can take on various structural forms. All right, each impacting their usage. Now, depending on what we intend to express, we could have varieties of formulas. You could have the verb plus adverb. You could have the verb plus preposition, that's like the number 2, and you could have both. But let's look at this first one. Now, verb plus adverb. Here, the adverb modifies the verb to create a new meaning. The adverb modifies the verb to create a new meaning. So now look at this. Break plus down. All right. So you have to stop working. Break down. To stop working. The car broke down. Car. Now another one, we have carry plus on. to continue, e.g., please carry on with your work, right? To continue. Now, look at this. This is the second structure of phrasal verb, verb plus preposition. You know, we said it could either be with an adverb or a preposition. Now, look at this. In this form, the preposition links the verb to its object, forming a new meaning. Do you get it now? The preposition links the verb to its object, forming a new meaning. Now, let's look at it. Look into. That's look plus into. What does this mean? To investigate. Are you getting it? To investigate. Now, example, we will look into the matter. Another example, run plus into. Run into. To meet unexpectedly. To meet unexpectedly. Example, I ran into an old friend. Now, let's go to the last structure that we have here. And what is it? Verb plus adverb plus preposition. Now, this is the most complex structure involving both an adverb and preposition. Now, look at this. Put up with. Put up with. What does that mean? It means to tolerate. All right? I can't put up with his behavior. That means I can't tolerate his behavior. Okay, now let's go to the next example. Look forward to. Look forward to. What does that mean? It means to anticipate with, you know, to anticipate with. Like, I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing from you. All right, that means I'm anticipating. I'm eager to, you know, hear from you. Now let's go to the next matter. And what is that? Key types of phrasal verbs. Key types of phrasal. There are types of phrasal verbs, but there are key ones that we need to look into. And what are they? Now look at this. Understanding the two major classifications will help you use phrasal verbs correctly. Now, let's look at this. The first one, the first one here is what? That you can see here is transitive phrasal verb. What do you see? Transitive phrasal verb. Now, when you talk about transitive phrasal verb, what do we mean? Now, these verbs always require an object. You know, just like transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, all right? These verbs usually would require an object to complete their meaning, all right? Now, look at this. The other one, intransitive phrasal verbs. Intransitive phrasal verbs. Now, these verbs do not take an object. Their meaning is complete on their own. Their meaning is complete on their own. So these verbs do not take an object. Their meaning is complete on their own. Let's look at this. I hope you are following. I hope you're getting. Now, transitive phrasal verbs. Let's discuss it. So we said transitive phrasal verb requires an object. Sincerely, it requires an object. Now, transitive phrasal verbs are incomplete without a direct object. Yes, they are incomplete without what? A direct object. The object receives the action of the verb. Now, and what are the examples? Number one, she turned off the fan. She turned off the fan. Now, you know the phrasal verb there, turned off. And what is the object? The fan. So, you see, there is an object receiving the action of the verb. The action turned off, there is an object receiving it. And what's the object? The fan. Now, let's look at another example. He picked up the book. He picked up the book. You can see the book is the object. Picked up is the phrasal verb. Okay, now the teacher called off the test. The teacher called off the test. All right. Now, a common example from WAEC NECO examination. Okay, that's an example from WAEC NECO examination. Now, the teacher called off. So, what's the object? Ha! I want to believe you got it. The object is the test. Very good. Now, what is the phrasal verb there? Aha, that is it. Called off. You got it right. Called off. And what's the subject? The teacher, because that's the doer of the action. But we're not looking at the subject here. We're looking at the phrasal verb having an object when it is, that makes it a transitive phrasal verb. But when it does not have an object, it is intransitive. We're going to check that now. But look at this quickly. Remember, for transitive phrasal verbs, action always has something or someone directed to us. The action always has something or someone it is directed to us. All right. Now let's go to, you already know the one we want to talk about, intransitive phrasal verb. It does not require object. So when you look at intransitive, that means it is transitive. When you say trans, it means movement. You know, it means movement. And so when you say intrans, that means no movement. So no, the action is not moving to an object. It does not need an object. It does not have an object to move to. It is intransitive. No traveling, no walk about. That's an elite mode. Anyway, now no object needed. Simple. No object needed. So unlike transitive verbs, intransitive phrasal verbs express a complete thought without the need for an object. Example: the car broke down. Like the picture you're seeing here, the car broke down. Clear. Message straight up, forward and clear. Now, the plane took off. Does it not make sense? Yes. Is there any object? No. But we have the subject. What's the subject? The car. What's the phrasal verb? Broke down. What's the subject in the second example? The plane. What's the phrasal verb? Took off. Now, look at the last example. The student sat down quietly. Does it mean that quietly is an object? No, sir. No, no. The students sat down quietly. The quietly is only giving us more information about the verb, not that there is an object. Or can quietly be an object? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. So now let's move straight to, so quietly is just the manner. It's just the manner with which the students sat down. It is not an object. I hope that is clear. So the phrasal verb there is sat down. The quietly is not an object. It is an adverb. Okay. Most times you know that the object is the noun, is a noun. Aha. So when you say object, you are talking about a noun that is after the word, the phrasal verb, which is an object. Aha. But quietly here, is not an object. It is an it is an adverb. All right. So now look at this again. These phrasal verbs describe an action that doesn't directly affect an external noun or pronoun. Clear. These phrasal verbs describe an action that doesn't directly affect an external noun or pronoun. Do you remember I said an object is a noun or pronoun? Okay, now so let's move away from here and quickly let's check separable phrasal verbs. You know, we know that most times the phrasal verbs are together, but sometimes we have them separated. So let's check. Some are separable, some are inseparable. Yes, whether they are transitive or intransitive, we could have separable phrasal verbs. That means the phrasal verbs that could be separated, the words being separated from each other. Now, with separable phrasal verbs, the object can be placed in two positions, offering flexibility in sentence structure. All right. Now, object placement options. Now, look at this. The object can come between the verb and the particle. When we talk about particle, we mean either the adverb or the preposition. Okay, I hope you get that. Now, the object can come between the verb and the particle. Good. Now, the object can come after the verb and the particle. Do you get that now? The object can come after the verb or the particle. All right. Now, let's look at examples. All right. She turned off the light. She turned off the light. Now, look at this. She turned the light off. That is an example of a separable phrasal verb. Okay? The phrasal verb can be together and can come before the phrasal verb can come before the word, the object. Or better put, the object can come after the verb and the particle. So the verb here is turned, the particle here is off. So it can come. I'm taking the second statement under object placement option. So the object can come after turned off. Now, but on the other hand, she turned the light off. She turned the light off. Now look at this. She turned is the verb, but the preposition, the particle off. Sorry, I think that should be another. The particle of, had to give way for the object to come in between them. Can you see? That means this phrasal verb is what? Separable. Now, pronoun rule. Look at this. Important. When the object is a pronoun, e.g., it, him, them, it must be placed between the verb and the article. That is it. It must be placed between what? Aha. Look at, she turned it off. You can't say she turned off it. I don't know. Doesn't really sound like. So, what do you say? She turned it off. Not she turned off it. She turned it off. Can you see it? I got it. I got it. I got it. But if it is the other one, it's wrong. Very wrong. Okay. Now let's look at this one. Inseparable phrasal verbs. They are phrasal verbs that are inseparable. They are inseparable. All right. Now, let's check it. In contrast to separable verbs, inseparable phrasal verbs, in contrast to separable phrasal verbs, inseparable phrasal verbs require the object to always follow the entire phrasal verb structure. So the phrasal verb comes definitely before the object. Of course, because there's no space in between. There's no space in between where the this thing can come in. So unexpected encounters, like we ran into an old friend. You can't say we ran an old friend into. Oh, man, what does that mean? No, that's wrong. All right. So now look at this example. Caring for others, like she looks after her brother. You can't say she looks her brother after. What does that mean? Excuse me. So inseparable comes when there are unexpected encounters, caring for others, seeking opportunities, like he applied for the job. Okay, that's a key WAEC example for those of you that are preparing for WAEC or something, but that's not even the issue. Sorry for the disturbance of the WAEC stuff, but of course, I told you this material could be used for those in secondary school and those in the tertiary. He applied for the job. Okay, so you see, you can say he applied the job for. That's terrible. You don't speak such English? No. All right. So with inseparable phrasal verbs, the verb and its particles act as a single unit. The verb and its particle, they act as what? A single unit. So always keeping the object at the end. Always keeping the object at the end. So for inseparable phrasal verbs, the object are always kept at the end. Now, look at this. Common phrasal verbs for WAEC NECO examination. So you need to familiarize yourself with these frequent tested phrasal verbs to excel in your examination. But I'm going to give you more, all right? I'm going to give you more phrasal verbs, about 40 of them even after this. So let's quickly look at this. Give up. What does it mean? Stop trying. I think we gave that example earlier. Good. Now, put off. What does it mean? Postpone. Now, look for means search. Carry on means continue. Turn down means reject. Get over means what? Recover from, like an illness or difficulty. Okay? Call off. That could be cancel. All right? Now, I'm going to give you, as I promised. Now, here we go. Now, practice using these sentences to solidify your understanding and ensure success in your exams. Okay, now look at this. I have these about 40 of them, and I'm going to read them out very fast. All right, so we have the first one: act out. That's perform. Okay, the student acted out a short drama. Number 2, bring up. That's mention. All right, it means mention. And what was the sentence there? She brought up an important issue. Number 3, call off. And what's call off? That's what? Cancel. All right. And what's the sentence that we have there? The director called off the audition. All right, now we have carry on. We talked about it earlier. Continue. Okay, they carried on practicing. Now the another one we have here, number 5, is also come across. That's find by chance. So when you say come across, that means by chance you just find something. Okay, I came across an old script. Okay. Number 6, cut down. That means reduce. All right. The producer cut down the budget. All right. Number what are we now? Number 7, do away with. You can see that there are 2 particles after this do. All right, do away with. And what do we have there? Remove. Okay, they did away with the old design. Number 9, we have filling. That's what? Substitute. All right. Sorry. Number 8, drop out. So we have withdraw. That's number 8. Drop out. That's withdraw. That's what it means. Withdraw. And the sentence there we say he dropped out of the drama club. You understand? Dropped out of the drama club. All right. Now another example. Fill in. Okay, that's substitute. All right. So we are number 9. Filling, substitute. She filled in for the sick actress. That means she took the place of the sick actress. Now number 10, find out. That means to discover, find out, to discover. And what's the sentence? We found out the true line. All right, I leave you with the rest to get and catch up with. So, catch you in the next video, in the next lesson. Thank you for your time. God bless you. Bye.